Hey, this is the TM15 disassembly. So basically you can take apart everything once you've gotten everything off the marker. So as you can see, it's pretty bare. I've taken off the front sight, rip clip, pretty much everything that I had on that would have stopped me from taking anything apart. So yeah, I'll start unscrewing the top four right here. So once you've gotten those out, you take out this screw, that screw, that screw, that one, and that one. So 5 on the bottom there. And I've got mine lined up nice and pretty so I know where they go. So I'll get those ones out now. Alright, so next up we have these 2 screws here by the mag well. I'm just going to start unscrewing them and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, I already have 4 out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and then like I said, these 2 are next. So what we can do now is we can take this plate off here. Yeah. So it should just pry up if you use, say, a little thing here. There, you just gotta work it a little bit. So after a little bit of work, I got this plate off here. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass, but yeah, so it's that like that, and you basically just have to fight it so it comes out. Anyways, next you take this little part here, it's your slide for your velocity adjustment, out. You then take this piece off, which makes the seal for your stock, and then you take the stock out itself, which is real easy. There. Next, after this is all done, you can take off the grip screws, and I'll start with that. So after that, basically the grip just pulls off. From here you just take it out, and there you have it. Put it with your other stuff here. I like to organize mine. So as you can see, I have the shape of the marker here, kind of. So after this, you take out the 2 screws down here underneath the selector switch, so I will start with that. So I got those 2 screws out. I found them to be really hard to get out. I had to put a lot of pressure on, and I almost stripped the bolt, to be honest. I had this crappy thing from the BT parts kit, but I wouldn't use it. I'd get one of your own that have a nicer, tighter fit on the bolt. I used a smaller one and used it this way, and I got the pressure just great enough to turn it, so just watch that you don't strip those bolts. This is the last screw that needs to come out before everything can be taken apart. It's the mag release screw, so right there, just use a small Allen key and then you can basically take everything apart, and I'll show you that in a sec. Here's what the marker looks like when you've taken the front shell off right here. I just noticed that the guy I bought this from kind of had a broken ball he didn't really know about. I guess he didn't clean it very well, or clean it at all, but I'm just gonna clean up some of the mess here. But there's the internals, quick look at it. Alright, I'm not going to bother taking out this part today, as it's nothing really wrong with it. I'm just going to clean the inside, but that's basically how you take it apart, and then I'll show you how to put it back together in a sec. I actually did end up taking it out, and it just looks like that. All I've done now is put the clamshells back together. Make sure you have this spring. It's your, what do you call it? Your mag ejector spring. It goes in there, and then this part goes here. Sits in there like that, I believe. And then you just have to screw that in. What we want to do next right here is put the 2 screws back in that were behind the grip frame. Next, what we want to do is put on the stock. So you find all your little pieces that you take off, or took off before, like this one. And we have the little plate somewhere, I think this one. Oops. Yeah, so it sits in little grooves right there. If I can find the little grooves. There, it just sits there like that. Now, just a note, the plate won't go on unless it's slid in this, like this. It can't be over here like that. It won't go on, so just make sure it's like that when you try to put this plate on. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stock on. I'll show you guys where I am after. Once you have the little plate on, you want to get your 2 screws so that the stock doesn't pop out while you're trying to do this. So you find your screws in your little parts selection thing. I think it's this one and this one. Basically this is just the easy part from now on. You just start putting every screw you have back in. So I just like starting over, putting the top part on and then the bottom screws that we took out, and in that order. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So I've put everything back together. All the screws are in for every spot, I believe. And now I'm just going to test and see if I did this right, because this is my first time actually taking this apart. So cross your fingers. Oh, and it looks like it's worked. There's F1, semi, F2, rear end burst, and F3, full auto. I'm glad that this worked. I was scared that it wasn't. Alright guys, that's the video on taking apart the BAT TM15. Thanks for watching, and this is SimEagle26. And when everything's all said and done, it should look similar to this. My sexy TM15. There you go. That's my TM15. And that's how you disassemble your marker.